Just a few months ago, as I was driving, I saw a reishi patch out the corner of my eye and got out to investigate. And while I was looking at this reishi patch, I found a species of fungi that I had never seen before. And it was so pretty, and I noticed it was growing out of wood. And in my experience, a lot of wood growing species are medicinal in some way, they're good for you, or they're just cool and easy to grow. So I cultivated it myself. I took it and regrew more mass than the original sample, and I even have a few time lapses. There's one and here's another one. I also took it upon myself to breed out multiple offspring of this species. So now I have the original specimen that I cloned, so its genetic material, and then I have the genetic material of 3 of its offspring, which should be genetically different. And today we're going to be putting all of those that I've cultivated onto a single dish to see how they interact with each other. The first plate that I picked up there is the original specimen. This plate here is the first offspring. This one is the second offspring. I called it Kid 2. And this one is the third one. Also recently, I found a wild maitake, and I'll be cultivating that as well. This is a petri dish sample from the original specimen. And typically I don't use the first cut because it can still have contamination, but it looks really clean, so we're just going to send it. Big shout out to Northspore for seeing this work and supplying me with some materials to make the job a little bit easier. I do all of this stuff completely out of pocket in both senses of the phrase, so I appreciate them helping and just lending a hand, because this is a lot of work, and no one wants to pay for research and development, but this stuff is really cool, and I found a lot of benefits with fungi, so I see this as a huge opportunity for me to be able to investigate something that happened upon my life. I was just driving and happened to find that. So now we're deep into the family tree of this thing. We've got the mother, and we've got 3 siblings, so going far into this. So about this work, we're actually slanting away this stuff so we have it forever. A slant is pretty much like a long storage pokeball for our fungi, and the petri dishes are more short term. They're like when I'm actively working with stuff, because the petri dishes are susceptible to contamination. Right now I'm just taking samples from the original plate, because some of these plates I only have one of them, so if I lose them I will lose all of my save progress. So I'm making as many plates as possible and then slanting away for long term, so I can always go back to that save state. So now we're on Kid 2, and we're pretty much doing all the same things. We're just taking samples from one plate, moving it to another plate, maybe moving it to some grain, but we're really just trying to duplicate as much mycelium as possible so that we can fruit it and study it. So we just finished one round of transfers, and there's a few more rounds to go, and I'm going to break down what's happening here for anyone that's not familiar with how mycology works. So here I'm flame sterilizing my blade, because it's going to be touching the sample, and when we're playing with these samples, there's only one species here, and we want to keep it that way. So we want everything that touches the sample to be sterile. That means that there's no other contamination or microbes on those tools. So I sanitize the part that I'm holding, and then I sterilize the tip of the blade because that's touching it. My hands are nowhere near the stuff to where it's going to affect anything, so I don't wear gloves. A lot of people that work in this industry, they wear PPE, all types of crazy stuff, but I'm sitting in my living room doing this in front of a filter, so it's not as crazy as you might think. I'm not in a laboratory, I'm in my house just doing this high level stuff. Now moving on, we just moved another sample to a plate, so I'm wrapping it up and labeling it, because you do not want to mislabel something, put weeks into letting it grow, and then find out you were growing the wrong thing. That is horrible. We've all done it to ourselves before. So just make sure if you do this stuff, you're always labeling. You can see in the corner here, there's an irregularity of how it was growing, and I think that's just because it was like warmer in that corner, so they tried to fruit, and it took me forever to tear the skin of the pellicle of the mycelium there. So yeah, I think they were getting ready to fruit on the plate. It's not contamination, but that is the last movement onto that dish where we were going to put all of our samples in. So now that we have them all in one place, we're going to study that long term and see if how they interact with each other, because they shouldn't combine together, but they shouldn't fight each other either because they're family. It works a little weird. We'll get into that when we get there, but here I'm feeding the mycelium some grain so that we can fruit them later. And now we're moving on to our Mycrodex sample, which the sample that this came from, it's from a spot that fruited last year too. It seems to fruit every year, and last year I was just too busy and I didn't get to get a clean sample on that. I just got too busy. I had like 6 plates of it and then I just let them all die. It just goes to show like how busy I was and things were crazy. But I'm not gonna let it go this time. It keeps coming back, so it's very strong. It's probably pretty young. It's not too old, so we're just moving multiple plates around so that we can have multiple samples. And then I'm gonna take like all of that mycelium there, scoop it up and throw it into some grain so they can eat that. It's kind of like a starch, so they can burn through that. They have energy to eat the wood faster. Because if I put that sample straight into wood, it would take them months to eat it, and we don't have time for that. We can get all this done within a month, so yeah. So this is everything that we did. So that's the kid 2, that's kid 3. I think I've already moved kid 1 off to the side before I had like my flow state with stacking everything in the same spot. So we just have multiple samples, and then we have the family tree dish, which that's going to be really cool. So pay attention to what that looks like. We're going to have a new video later showing what that looks like, and we're going to talk about it. I think that's the kid 1, and that's Mycrodex. Yeah, these are just the Mycrodex plates actually. We didn't touch that plate because I dabbed the sample around and it was just growing from all different places. It looked kind of sus. So yeah, that's 10 transfers right there. We've even got the kid 2, kid 3, and Mycrodex on grain. And we have all of our work slanted up, and that makes me really, really happy because now we can make mistakes and not have to worry about the consequences. Now, this is my first YouTube video in 3 years. I've been making shorts for 4 years straight, and I'm just coming back to long form because there's too much info in these videos. So if you guys enjoy this content, please like and subscribe and let me know what you think in the comments. There will be a bunch of useful links in the description, but I am most active on Instagram. If you want to keep up with this work in real time, definitely check out my Insta. It's the same name, Mycrodex. I'll see you guys later. Talk to you soon.